Joanne Rowling was born on July 31, 1965, in a small town near Bristol, England. Her father, Peter, was an engineer, her mother, Anne, a science technician. But more than anything, Joanne was a dreamer. As a child, she loved books, fairy tales, fantasy, and anything that took her away from the real world. She once said,
I lived for books. The places they took me were better than anywhere I could be.
By the age of 6, she wrote her first story about a rabbit named Rabbit. And at 11, she wrote another about 7 cursed diamonds and their owners. Her imagination was boundless, but her real life was about to grow dark. When Joanne was still a teenager, her mother was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, a cruel, degenerative disease. It was slow, painful, and emotionally devastating for the entire family. Joanne had always been close to her mother, but as the illness progressed, her mother grew weaker and Joanne felt more helpless. At 17, she left for college, studying French and classics at the University of Exeter. On the outside, she seemed like a normal student, reading, writing, and dreaming. But inside, she carried a quiet storm. During her time at university, she wrote stories but kept them private. Her professors didn't know that this quiet girl would one day change literature forever. But fate had other plans. It was 1990. Joanne was 25 years old, traveling by train from Manchester to London. It was delayed, hours long, but that delay changed the world. As the train rolled slowly through the countryside, a story appeared in her mind about a young boy who didn't know he was a wizard, about a magical school, about friendship, bravery, and love. In her own words,
The idea for Harry Potter just fell into my head. I could see him very clearly. A skinny little boy with black hair, glasses, who didn't know he was a wizard.
she didn't have a pen or paper. She just sat there, imagining every detail. By the time she reached London, the entire world of Hogwarts had been born inside her mind. Just weeks later, tragedy struck. Her mother passed away after 10 long years of battling illness. Joanne was devastated. She had never told her mother about Harry Potter, and now she never could. That grief changed her writing forever. The theme of loss, of a child growing up without parents, became the heart of Harry Potter. She once said,
I wrote Harry Potter in the aftermath of my mother's death. Every word of it is colored by that loss.
In search of a fresh start, Joanne moved to Portugal in 1991. She got a job teaching English, hoping to rebuild her life. In the evenings, she wrote, in cafes, in notebooks, on scraps of paper. She worked on the first chapters of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. But life once again took a difficult turn. She met and married a Portuguese journalist. Soon after, she gave birth to her daughter, Jessica. But the marriage was short and painful, filled with tension and conflict. In her own words,
It was a bad situation. I had to get out.
so she packed her bags, took her baby, and flew to Edinburgh, Scotland, with just a suitcase, a typewriter, and a dream. In Edinburgh, life hit rock bottom. Joanne was now a single mother, unemployed, barely surviving on welfare. She struggled to pay rent and heat her small apartment. Some days, she skipped meals so her daughter could eat. She later said,
By every usual standard, I was the biggest failure I knew.
but failure didn't stop her. Every day, while Jessica napped beside her in a stroller, Joanne wrote. In cafes like Nicholson's and the Elephant House, she'd order a single cup of coffee and write for hours. That's where the magic of Hogwarts came to life, word by word. She poured her heart, her pain, her hope into Harry Potter. When she finally finished the first book in 1995, she typed it on an old typewriter and sent it to publishers. 1, 2, 3, 12 times rejected. Some didn't even read it. Others said,
Children's books don't sell.
but she didn't stop. Finally, one small publisher, Bloomsbury, decided to take a chance. But even then, they warned her.
Don't quit your day job. You'll never make money writing children's books.
It was the chairman's 8-year-old daughter who read the first chapter and said,
Dad, this is the best book I've ever read.
That one sentence changed everything. In 1997, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was published in the UK. The first print run, just 500 copies. But the magic spread like wildfire. Children devoured it. Parents loved it. Teachers recommended it. It became a sensation, not because of marketing, but because readers felt something real. Within months, Scholastic bought the rights for the US edition for $105,000, an unheard of amount for a debut children's author. Joan was in shock. After years of rejection, poverty, and pain, her dream had finally come true. The rest became history. Over the next 10 years, Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. 7 books, 8 films, theme parks, merchandise, and millions of fans across generations. Rowling's story of the boy who lived turned into a story of the woman who never gave up. She became the world's first billionaire author. Yet she once lived in poverty. She inspired a generation to read. Yet she once doubted her own voice. And through it all, she stayed grounded. In her 2008 Harvard commencement speech, she said,
It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all.
Her failures became her foundation, her pain, her power. J.K. Rowling's story is not just about magic, it's about resilience. She taught us that dreams don't always start big. Sometimes they begin on a train in the middle of nowhere. She showed that rejection isn't the end, it's part of the process, and that success means nothing if you forget where you came from. Even today, she continues to write, give back, and inspire millions. But when people ask her what success means, she always returns to the same idea that imagination is the greatest gift humans have.
We do not need magic to change the world. We carry all the power we need inside ourselves already.
J.K. Rowling went from being a single mother on welfare to creating one of the most beloved worlds ever imagined. From being rejected 12 times to selling more than 500 million books worldwide. From feeling like a failure to becoming an icon of hope. Her story reminds us that sometimes rock bottom is where you build the foundation for your greatest success. So the next time someone tells you your dream is impossible, remember her story, because once upon a time, J.K. Rowling was just a woman with a pen and a little boy named Harry living inside her imagination.